Have you ever seen a Viking ship made out of popsicle sticks and balsa wood? Coils of brown thread for rope, 16 oars made out of chopsticks, and a red and yellow sail made from a baby's footy pajamas? I have. He died with his sword in his hand, and so went straight to heaven. The Vikings often buried their bravest warriors in ships and set them adrift and on fire, a tiny island of flames, the soul of the brave warrior rising slowly with the smoke. And in order to understand life in Scandinavia in the Middle Ages, you have to understand the construction of the Viking ship. So here's what I want the class to do. I want you to build me a miniature Viking ship. You have 1 month to complete the project. You may use whatever materials you'd like, but you must all work together like warriors. Now, these are the kind of projects I'm known for as a history teacher, like the Greek Shield Project, or the Marshmallow Catapult Project, or the Medieval Castle of Chocolate Cake. Actually, that one was a disaster. But then there's the Egyptian Pyramid Project. Have you ever seen a family of 4 standing around a card table after dinner, each member of the family holding one side of the Egyptian pyramid until the glue finally dried? I haven't either. But Mrs. Steinberg said that even with Tony's little brother on one side saying, "This is stupid, Tony. If I get Mr. Molly next year, my pyramid's going to be so much better than this." And Tony on the other side saying, Shut up and do not let go or I will kill you." It was the best family time they had spent since Hanukkah. He died with his sword in his hand, and so went straight to heaven. Mr. Molly, if that's true, if you die with your sword in your hand, you go straight to heaven, then if I were an old Viking, could I just keep my sword beside my bed so that if I knew I was about to die, I could just reach out and grab it? If I were a Viking god, I don't think I would fall for that. But if I were a Viking about to die of old age, that is exactly what I would do. He died with his sword in his hand, and so went straight to heaven. Tony Steinberg had been missing from class for 6 weeks before we finally found out what was wrong. And the 12 boys left, whispered the disease as if you could catch it from saying it too loud. And we've been warned. The middle school head came to our class and said that Tony would be visiting us on Friday, but he's had a rough time. The medication he is taking has made all his hair fall out. So nobody point, nobody stare, and nobody laugh. Now, I always said I liked teaching in a private school because I could talk about God in the classroom and not be breaking the law. And I sure talk about God a lot. Yes, in history it's easy. Even the Egyptian Pyramid Project is essentially a spiritual undertaking, but how can you teach math and not believe in a God? A God of perfect planes and points, surrounded by right angles and archangels of varying degrees. Such a God would not give cancer to an 8th grade boy, would not make all his hair fall out from chemotherapy, totally bald in a jacket and tie on a Friday morning. And I don't just mean Tony Steinberg. Not one boy in my class had hair that day. The other 12 boys had shaved their head in solidarity. Have you ever seen 13 bald-headed 8th grade boys all pointing at each other, all staring, all laughing? I have. And it's a beautiful sight. Almost as striking as 12 8th grade boys, now with crew cuts, 6 weeks later, standing outside the synagogue on a Saturday morning, with heads bowed, holding hands, around the smoldering remains of a miniature Viking ship which they have set on fire, the soul of the brave warrior rising slowly with the smoke.